Welcome to the name game. Workout number 185 is popcorn. As many rounds as possible in 12 minutes complete. 9 shoulder to overhead at 95/65 pounds. 5 box jump overs at 24/20 inches. 12 shoulder overhead. 10 box jump overs. 15 shoulder overhead, 15 box jump overs, and continuing to build in that fashion for the remainder of the 12 minutes with the shoulder overhead climbing by 3s and the box jump overs climbing by 5s.
I just eat it like a bowl of cereal.
This is Abby. She is my longest standing client.
Let's go, killing it, Abby.
Like 6 years, basically since right when I started coaching. So
she's like the OG.
She is the OG. She's made it through a couple gyms, a couple phases of life with me. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. So I picked this one for her because these will be pretty good moves for her. She's a pretty good mover, relatively efficient. So both these movements should hold up pretty well for her. Day wrote this, as well as kind of the inspo behind this.
Yeah, this one is a longer AMRAP, not like super long, but 12 minutes. And it's high volume in terms of the shoulder to overhead, lightweight. And then some box jump overs with that. So like my thought process behind it was just like, hey, this is a long AMRAP of just 2 simple movements. There's not much skill involved, but like you were mentioning with Abby, like the more efficient athletes who are comfortable with these movements will get through with a lot. It also, I think, is just a good test of just like overall fitness and what you can sustain at like what intensity you can sustain and how long you can keep going. The goal is by the end of the AMRAP, you're going to be feeling all types of things in terms of muscular fatigue, overall fatigue and all that. So, yeah. So just kind of getting, just pushing it, and being able to find those different gears over that period of time, finding, it's very easy to come out hot with these movements just because it starts off low at 5 box jump overs, so it's not a lot. So it's very easy to go fast through those. And then it starts off with 9 of the shoulder to overhead at a lightweight. So that barbell's gonna fly, and then it's kind of like how fast can you keep that going? Because it adds up.
Yeah, for my people who are like maybe a little bit more competitively driven, like I probably am, like I like to think about like when I'm pushing myself with like racing other people, it's like in all these ascending type workouts, you have to keep in mind that like, everyone's gonna get to the point where you slow down because the chunk of work is big relative to your ability levels, and that's just like, your individual abilities, like how far into it you're gonna get. So, Day's really fit, so she might feel it in the round of 27 where I might find it, get there in the round of 21 where I really slow down. What you got to remember is like the people that are like you are competing against and like are your like peers, let's call it, that you're like kind of at their ability level, that they're also getting stuck in that same round. So it's like that's where you need to stay engaged and kind of find that separation.
Who's there?
Good Chris Hardenberg mental hack.
That's it. Big mental hack guy.
No hacks, only
This workout's interesting too because a lot of times you have like ascending workouts like this. You still have, I was gonna say, you have a lot of transitions, and so you can lose a lot of time in the transitions. Now, you still have that in the workout like this, but being with you start at 9 reps in the shoulder to overhead, and the rep jump on the box jump overs is 5. You get to like some pretty big chunk sets fairly early versus like a 3, 6, 9, 12 type deal.
It doesn't really feel like you're getting baited into going out at a sprint.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also is, you almost stay more composed because like for most people, this barbell weight relative to, even if they've just been following what we've been giving them for a while, like their typical Metcon weights is on the lighter side. So it's just like you should be able to cycle this pretty efficiently, stay relaxed for pretty deep into the workout, find a nice rhythm in the box, step over, step downs. Yeah, so I kind of agree.
And Abby does a pretty good job here. Like, I like where she lands her feet on her box jump overs, and on the shoulder to overhead, I feel like her cadence is pretty good. You know what I mean? Like in a movement like that, especially if it's light, you can try to limit like time under tension and move really, really fast, but that's going to jack your heart rate up.
Right.
And then the alternative is to slow down the movement, but then the time under tension, when you get to the end of the workout, your shoulders are going to be shot. So it's like you kind of want to thread the needle somewhere in between, especially on a lighter weight like this.
Yeah, and I think somebody like Abby versus maybe even someone like me, but like Chris could probably fall in this too, where like maybe all of us do actually, where like maybe our overhead positions aren't like ideal, like not as good as Abby's, right?
Sure.
Where like she can probably get away with push jerking a little bit more, whereas like maybe we all would push press this weight, not because it's relatively lighter, just because like then it's like you cycle it quicker and get the weight off of you, rather than holding on for a bigger set like Abby is here, but doing push jerks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like not right or wrong. It's just like two ways to slice the cake, if you will.
Mhm.
How do you like to slice your cake, Dave? She
I
takes a piece out of the middle,
In a
pops it out,
Yeah.
no crust.
I just eat it like a bowl of cereal.
She just picks up the whole thing.
Like a bowl of cereal?
I just
You're like, how do you slice your cake? She's like, you slice a cake?
yeah. What?
How do you eat your cake? With a spoon. Okay. Oh, man. I think this, I mean, honestly, like, I do think this would be a really good, like, open style test. Because, again, in open, we're going to see a lot of couplets and triplets, classic CrossFit and low barrier entry stuff where it's like, you know, your average class goer is at least going to be able to get into the reps and get a good workout in. I feel like they participated. So I still think it's while you as you go to higher level events, organizers are going to want to incorporate higher skilled movements, handstand walks, muscle ups, that sort of stuff. It's still always helpful, and I think especially people at the helm of CrossFit will always come back to like these simple style couplets where the reps are really high, turnovers high, there's no erg, it's just like fitness expressed in simple CrossFit movements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the things I was thinking about when I was writing it was like a simple test like this. It's kind of interesting to see someone who's fit do it, and then someone who's more on the like the elite level, like how different the gap is, right? How many more reps can they do? Because again, it's simple movements and all that, but when it comes down to the movement efficiency and being able to transition fast, and you know that weight is so light to them, how big of a difference is it for someone like that at that level? So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. And maybe my answer to that would be like, I think for maybe let's call it like a semifinal athlete, someone who's not elite, but they're really good, you'll probably see them like transition a lot quicker and like obviously just like rest a little bit less. But I would say like when you get to the elite level, those people are also moving really fast the entire time. Like
Sure.
they're keeping the cycle speed up, and like basically they're like more almost racing it the entire time versus like
Right.
settling into a pace that allows them to transition and just kind of stay on the work. Do you agree with me,
Right.
Chris, or are you?
I am in agreement.
Okay.
That the elites do a great job of moving very fast and not resting.
As simple as that sounds, it's quite challenging to do.
Yeah. Well, in a workout like this too, again, coming from someone who hasn't done it, full disclosure, is like the movements are fairly they're complementary. You know what I mean?
And Abby even said that at the end.
Yeah.
I talked to her a little bit, and that's one of the things she says is like, yeah, like, you know, obviously there's the systemic component, but they felt like they weren't interfering too much.
Right. And so when a move, I don't know how you feel, or you guys, I should say, feel, but when I see a workout like that the movements are super complementary, in my head, I'm like, ooh, like this is going to get real nasty, because the limiting factor at that point then becomes systemic fatigue. Like if it's complementary movements, the weight's not an issue, you know, and you're fairly good at the movements, then it's just like, okay, how good let me start over. How good shape are you in, and how mentally tough you are? Like, that's kind of like a scary place when you get into CrossFit and you've been in it long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're fresh, you don't know how bad it's gonna hurt, so you just wander your way right in.
Yeah.
How did I get here? It's like that meme. That you ever see that the meme of the video with the blonde hair kid? And he's like, wow. He's like looking all around.
Yes.
That's what I just envisioned. It's like you just wander and you're like, wow. This workout sucks.
Oh gosh. Yeah, Abby's doing a great job. I mean, her movements held up really well. Like obviously you're gonna get tired. She said the next day that her triceps got really sore. Because especially when you're cycling it pretty quickly, you just it's almost like when it's a lighter barbell and it's like a shoulder overhead or like a push press push jerk. It's like it becomes more upper body dominated because you don't need to use this big leg drive every time.
Yeah. And it's more of like a press than like a catch, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. Push jerk, you're not actually like, especially if it's heavy, you're not actually using your tricep to move the weight very far. You're just kind of moving yourself underneath the bar and supporting it.
Yeah.
And then also like so much other musculature is involved in like, you're going to just get tired way quicker. So the number of reps you're doing is obviously way lower.
Oh man, Abby's really feeling it right now. She gave the check. Where am I at? How many reps am I on?
You can tell when people start hurting, every once in a while, I don't know if you can hear the audio in this, but I'll be like, come on. That's like, if I start talking while I'm filming, you know they're hurting pretty bad.
Oh, man. Poor Abby.
She's still moving. Box jumps are definitely slowing down. And that's sort of what I mean is like that separation between like, people who are fit and those who are at an elite level are just going to really move, throughout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, 27 shoulder to overhead. That's a lot.
Yeah. Especially when you're only climbing by threes.
Yes.
Buzzer beater here.
One more!
Oh, yeah. Nice hit on Abby.
The box jumps, I was getting so fatigued that I thought I was going to trip.
Yeah.
So I had to slow down.
Were your legs tired or your arms more tired?
I think it's just more of a heart rate thing.
Yeah. Just like breathing was elevated?
Breathing elevated, and my jumps weren't getting as high as I wanted them to.
Yeah. How was it compared to like what you expected to feel like?
I expected to not get as many reps, but I expected to not take as many breaks. The goal was to try and keep moving.
Yeah.
So I paused for a few seconds here and there more than I would have liked to.
Yeah. It looked like you kept it to like 1 to 2 breaks for the most part.
Yeah.
Is that sort of the goal?
The goal was to cut it in half, cut the shoulder to overhead in half.
Definitely.
And then, like I said, the box jump overs, I tried not to break, but they fell apart a little.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say they fell
Took
apart.
a little longer
than
I would have liked to.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching today. Be sure to share this workout and take it on with some friends. If you want to learn more about how to optimize your performance for the sport of CrossFit, or if you're interested in hiring one of our coaches, head over to zorfitness.com. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Best of luck on the workout, and as always, stay the course.